What's up, guys? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're at. We're back at it. It's been a week. It feels weird. It feels weird being back. Like, I even kind of worked. I did some stuff in my stream area. It doesn't even feel right to me anymore. I don't know why. I don't know if, like, my chair's further back or what, but it doesn't feel right to me. And WF, what's up, dude? How you doing? Good morning, man. Is he supposed to be uploading Railfan shots at Flickr this morning, but it's messed up, so I guess I'll be here instead. Fine with me. All right, man. I appreciate that. Thanks so much. Let me get this music taken care of real fast. There we go. We'll leave it like that. Yeah, it's been like, man, it just feels so weird being. I feel so out of place this morning. I don't know why. Like, you know, we tried to stream last week, right? And yeah, that went great. Yo, if you were here, you know how that went. It turned out as a problem, not with my ISP, but actually a major like internet backbone was having problems between my ISP and Denver. Believe it or not, like if I try to connect to a website in Amarillo, it has to go all the way to Denver and then back to Amarillo. So they were having issues, and it basically sucked. I was only getting like 1,500 kilobytes upload, if even that much. Like at some points, it was less than that. All right, I think we're good with the music. Good here. What's up, Nick from Vegas? What's going on, man? This is morning all. Matt, what's going on, dude? Good morning. Yeah, it's a Monday, kind of Tuesday. You're right about that, NWF. Like, my kids went back to school today after Christmas break. It just, like, today just doesn't feel right. I don't know why. It just does, like, none of this feels right to me. It's probably because I didn't do anything last week. Like I said, our ISP, like, honestly, this thing's been giving me trouble for a while. We just didn't know it. We didn't know it. And, you know, I talked to my ISP and they're like, we're good here. And I'm like, well, I'm not. Like, something beyond you is messed up and it's affecting your customers. And it turned out it was level 3. There's like a few companies in the country that do like major internet backbone service, right? It was level 3, also known as Lumen. They're having trouble somewhere between here and Denver. Something was wrong. They got it fixed really quick. Like, I give them credit for that. They got it fixed really quick. But we got a good stream today. 8,000 kilobytes per second on YouTube. Looks like you're getting like 10,000 on Twitter, which is kind of weird. I don't know how, on X, I should say. I don't know how we're getting 10,000 on X, but we are. X is getting all the data today. And then, yeah, 6,000 on Twitch too. So everything is perfect. Everything is beautiful. And then on top of that, like, I can't see what's going on Twitch today for some reason. Brian, what's up, dude? How you doing? Yeah, I can't. Sorry, Twitch people. I don't know what, like, it's not aggregating into my chat for some reason this morning. It worked the other day when I tried streaming, but today it's not aggregating. So I don't know why. I don't know why. I have like 0. I can get this thing moved around. Like, what's going on with this? There we go. Put it over there. Doing good. Just out working. I hear you, dude. It's cold here this morning. It's like 17 degrees. At least it's a little warmer this morning than it was yesterday. Yesterday it was brutally cold. And that wind blowing. Speaking of delays, your passenger service needs to be totally separate from freight rail. What's up, Dustin D? You talking about in game? You talking about in Railroader? We're gonna do some Railroader today if y'all didn't notice. I'm just trying to get situated here. Does everything look good? Sound good? Like, is everything good? Are we good? Because it looks great on my end, so making sure, right? In game? What do you mean, Dustin D? Like, how do you You're talking about just a completely separate passenger train, which is what I've been doing for. Like, I separated those things a long time ago. Like when I first started playing. I don't like combined service. It sucks. Combined passenger and freight in game sucks. Like, you're completely... I just let the passenger thing... Like, they just do their thing. Which honestly isn't much. It's honestly not much in game. But it's a little bit, right? In fact, here they are right here. I don't even know what this guy's doing. That's the only thing about not playing this game in a while is like I have zero clue what is going on now. Like it's 12:30. So I know we've done so, like we've progressed the day a little bit, but I don't know exactly where we're at. Like what's going on with this? Overall 107%. 100% passenger network service. We got that up. Passenger equipment 95%. I shopped it and then I wrecked it and now I got to shop it again. So freight performance 98%, operation safety 93. Music maybe turned a bit, just the slightest tiny bit. You want music come down a little bit? We can do that. We can totally do that. I'm assuming you mean down. That's just a hair. It's like that much. It's just a hair. Okay, hopefully that's good. Like I said, Twitch, sorry guys. I hope y'all enjoy. I can't see your chat. I don't know, and Spur's not coordinated enough to have like. I guess we could try to do a screen and see what's going on. We could hop in on Twitch and see what they're doing over there, which is not much of anything because I haven't streamed on Twitch in forever. So like, there's not much. It says my average stream bitrate is too high. Yes, Twitch is really picky about that, but you can, which I don't get because I'm sending them. Well, every once in a while it's kind of 7, so that's what they're bitching about. That 7.5. Like for the most part, it averages like 6, but every once in a while it jumps up to 7.5, and Twitch is really anal about that for some reason. I don't know why. Twitch doesn't want like they don't want to have a good bit rate. They really limit that stuff. All right, back to our railroad. Let's see what's going on here. We need to catch up on this. If you double track passenger service lines, do double track. I saw a mod where you could do that, right? Is there any way to set a fixed maximum bit rate? Yeah, in fact, I told it, like in the stream settings, you tell it what you want to, what bit rate you want to stream at. Like I'm using a multi-stream, I don't want to say mod, but I don't know what you'd call it, a plugin or something for OBS, right? And so you set it, you create each connection that you want at X, Twitch. YouTube is completely separate. I don't have YouTube on this because that's like my main stream. And I told Twitch 6, but for some reason it's bumping up every once in a while. It's bumping to 7.5, and I've heard you can get away with 8 to Twitch and it won't like hurt you, but I don't think any more than that. So it's per question. What's up, Alan? Good morning, dude. This is a question. We got snow yesterday and ice. CPKC did not run crew vans because of slick roads. Now, when you got ice and snow, did CSX ever not run crew vans because of slick, icy, snowy roads? No, we never. That was something I never ran into. Railroading in Alabama and Georgia, the few years that I did it, that was never a thing. That was never a thing. So I would imagine of some locations they probably deadhead them, own the trains themselves, right? Like you don't have to go on a van. You can deadhead own the train. I know they do that here. They do that here on the Transcon every once in a while. I've seen guys talk about deadheading own the trains itself. So Idiotly, what's up, dude? This is morning, Mr. Spur. Good morning, dude. How you doing? All right. So yeah, that was never a problem. I remember railroading in ice and snow every once in a while when I worked a paper mill job. It iced in it mainly iced. I think it iced and sleeted one night when we were working. I think that's yeah, it iced and sleeted. I never wore gloves to railroad. If I wore gloves, it made me feel like I wasn't getting a good grip holding on. And I remember it sucked that night because everything kind of had a little layer of ice on it, and it was so freaking cold that I still wouldn't wear gloves because I just never felt comfortable with that. All right, trying to get this Derail Valley edited right. This is hard. Yeah, I hate editing, dude. It's like editing and thumbnails are the worst for me. I really suck at both of them. Like, I really suck at both of them, and those can have a huge impact on like your channel. You know, those can have a huge impact. Both of them. You know, the thumbnails, click-through rate, editing, watch time. You know, and view duration more than anything with editing. But your thumbnails are good. Oh, not let you say I like your thumbnail. Oh, I appreciate it immediately. I try. If they're bad, it's not from the lack of trying. I can assure you that. I try, but you know, if I could do better, the channel would be directly affected by that. Believe it or not, it absolutely would. WF says question about crew transport. Let's say you take a train up a secondary line and only sees 2 maybe 3 trains a day. How do you get back to your crew base if there are no return trains? For you just deadhead. You just go in a van. That wasn't something that we ran into. We didn't take trains anywhere where there wasn't one coming back like immediately, you know. So yeah, you just deadhead in a van, or you could deadhead on the train. We never deadheaded on the train, but you could. What if there are no vans and you just wait till they have a van? You wait until I remember one time we went dead somewhere. Like it was kind of a. We went dead in this place called Pelham, Alabama, and we were only like an hour or two into our trip, and we broke down, and we had just enough oomph to get us into the siding, and we put it in the siding and tied it down, and they said they're going to call a crew van for us. I guess because they didn't have any other power available for the train, so we weren't going to be going anywhere. And when it was all said and done, by the time they finally picked us up, I think we'd been sitting for about 16 hours. I think, which really sucked because I never took much food with me, right? Big Jacko says, I used to pick my friend up if the CP left him down by me. Mrs. Spur picked me up a few times, believe it or not. I remember one night we kind of timed it out where we made our train. I won't say we made our train go dead, but there was a way that we worked it out where we had the dispatcher put us in a siding in the town that I lived in to tie the train down because we're going dead. And so then I got on the mobile dial on the locomotive and I called Mrs. Spur up at like 2 in the morning and told her to come pick us up, that we would be there in a little bit. So that's what she did. She went and picked us up. She got us off the train. And the dispatcher's like, I'm gonna call you a taxi to come get you. I was like, no, we're good. We got one already. He's like, you do? And I was like, yeah, we got a taxi. He's like, you sure about that? And I was like, yes, we have a taxi. I was like, my wife is going to come pick me up or pick us up. And he's like, oh, okay. You're right after about being lost coming back to this game after a bit of time. Almost have to make sure you finish the day before taking. You know, I was just thinking that when we started this and I was kind of looking around, I was like, damn, I wish I just ended this on the day. But it's almost impossible to do that though, especially when streaming. Yeah, okay, so it looks like we're ready. It looks like we're in the process of grabbing this car right here. And we're going to take this back to Bryson. And we'll just have to go through the locals, right, and figure out what's been worked and what's not been worked, because I have zero clue. This game always just devolves into a mess of mods. You know, one of my mods, my F7 mod, was not working last week, and I updated the what is that mod manager program that you use? Drifter, what's up, dude? How you doing? The mod manager game, or the mod manager thing, or whatever, the mod manager mod. I updated that thing, and they got it working. I guess. I don't know. I updated a couple things and it worked. Like, it wasn't working and then it worked, so I don't really know. What do you think about BNSF's decision to go van-based brakeman? What exactly does... What does that entail exactly? Is that kind of... You know, they had guys out here, I don't know if they still do, called rapid responders. And so, like, if a train got a knuckle or had something going on, these rapid responders would roll up in a pickup truck and help them, like, change. Like, what is exactly meant by van-based brakeman? Yeah, you know, when I did the job, even way back in the day, we had some jobs that we actually did use a taxi a good bit to move around. Conductors in the cab, but brakemen are now based in vehicles. I don't think... I think it would be all right. If I was a brakeman, I'd like the job. I'd totally be all about it. Hang out in a van and go do go do it. Go eat, drink, like whatever, you know. I don't know. Like I said, we worked some jobs. Some locals, like we had a local where a van took us to it, and we all, or it actually was, yeah, it was a van, right? I'm trying to think how that worked. It was kind of tricky there because there was a taxi service in town that had a contract, and like, I'm trying to remember how that worked. Either whoever took us to the train, we always had them stick around and wait, and they took us to like the cuts and the switches and everything, so we didn't have to walk, and it saved a lot of time. It made it really super easy and saved a lot of time because you didn't have to walk to the head end. Especially like when you were coming out on the main, you came out on the main with 4,000 or 5,000 foot train. You had to get the switch behind it because it was a hand throw. You had the taxi there waiting on you, and you just jump in there and you'd go down the tracks about a mile or so to this road crossing, and the engineer wouldn't even stop. Like, he would come out on the main, you'd line the switch back and lock it up to the main line, and the engineer would just keep going, right? And then the taxi would take you a few miles down the road to this road crossing. It was on this grade, so the train would be going by relatively slow, and you just get out of the van and just catch up on it and then go on about your business. You had fire, EMS, and national weather. Yes, I do. On Twisted. In Roblox. Drifter, I do. I have all that stuff. I don't have the trucking. I saw they added trucking. I need to get back in there. They've updated a lot of stuff in that game. So previously, locals had an engineer, conductor, brakeman, and now the conductor stays with the train, but brakeman is assigned. Okay, so it's just a floating brakeman, right? That just goes around and helps whoever. The only thing I could think, I would just hope that they would have enough brakemen, like, available for everyone that needed a brakeman, right? Honestly, like, on some of the locals I work, you know, you could run like 70 miles and not do anything. So I could kind of see not having a brakeman. A floating brakeman, yeah. I don't know. I would rather them see them have the crews like they're supposed to have. There is a lot of downtime, but when you need them, you need them. He's got a new truck diesel from the movie Twister. Okay, yeah, I saw that, and they got they've got Dorothy too, right? The what is that thing called? The probe Dorothy, whatever that was called in the movie. Who remembers the OG Twister movie, right? Didn't they do a reboot And they're a reboot of Twister now or something. Is it even worth a damn? Like, is it any good? Has anyone seen it? I couldn't even tell you. Oh, most of the locals up here in Montana, the brakeman basically slept on the... Yeah, that's honestly, that's pretty much the way it is, really, having a brakeman. Brakeman used to be like, you know, all trains used to have a brakeman back in the day. Like, I remember even in the 90s when I rail fan with my dad, there would be brakemen on those trains, and like they always sat in the second out engine, didn't do anything, you know. And NWF says they really like the new one. Casey says original is great, new one is mid. I hadn't seen much about it. I know they did it, but I haven't seen much about it. Like, I don't watch a lot of TV and movies. I really don't. I just don't have time. All right, let's get this guy. Let's get this guy taken care of. Looks like they sent us another car, so that's good. So we got one more car. Hoosier, what's up? Good morning. You watched a new Twister in a drive-in theater. So they used to have, where did they have? They had a drive-in theater around here somewhere. Where was that thing at? I think there was one over in Oklahoma for a while. I don't even know if that thing is still there or not. On day 25 in this game and only up to Alarka Junction, 5 locos in game is a major grind. Merlin, what's up, dude? Yes, you're absolutely right. This game is a major grind. It is hard to like make any kind of significant progression. If I were to have any kind of complaint, it would probably be that if you are a really like super casual player on this game and you only play it a few months, it's going to take you a freaking year to get anywhere. So I almost wish they had a slider or something that increased, like you have realistic money or normal money, and then you could increase the payout. So like for people that don't play the game that much, you could progress faster. That's why as soon as I get this place Robinson to T5, I'm going to get that mod that makes it do like 70 something cars a day to try to boost the money up, right? I love Twister, but you have a lot of fighting of taking credit of Dorothy and Bill and the other guy fighting about it. When you start live streaming on Twisted or on Roblox, we have done Twisted before a long time ago. May have to do it again. There's a few things that I want to go back to. I don't like, I love a lot of railroading content, but I don't want it to be just the railroading channel, right? So it's always been a variety channel. We do a lot of different things on here. I like tornado chasing games. I think it's a lot of fun. At least Twisted is. Like for a Roblox game, it's a really good game. Honestly, like it's the best Roblox game I've played, I think. Okay, so this guy is good. 4, 5, 6, 7 cars. Not bad. That's not bad. We can do that. That's pretty good. That's pretty decent. All right, this is all good to go. So we can take this guy back south. We need to get that passenger train out of the way first, though, before we do that. You like to watch the first Twister? Yeah, I like that one too. That was really good. Twisted is a Roblox game? I didn't know that. Yeah, it is. It absolutely is. It's a Roblox game. I've got a few videos. If you want to see what the game is about, you can check the videos out. I've done a live stream or two in it. It's actually really fun. I enjoy it. I've played a ton of different Roblox games, especially with my kids. Like, they like me to get on there. And Roblox games, to me, like, especially a lot of the games that they play, or even Twisted, like Twisted's pretty grindy too, honestly. Like, they're all really grindy games in Roblox, but it's good. It's good. I enjoy it. It's fun to just hop in there every once in a while and just chase some tornadoes and stick your probe in it, you know, like it's just chasing tornadoes, right? Only T3 for coal at the moment in my railroad, for my railroad, and the locos are 4 T22s and a C46. Nice. It's not bad. You watched the videos, just had no ideas. Yeah, it's a Roblox game. Yeah. There's one game in particular my oldest daughter likes me to play with her own Roblox, and I can't stand that game. It's like, I'm like, why do you love playing this game so much? Because oh my god, it's like I love playing with my kids, but man, that game is torture. Like, it is absolutely torture. It's it's so bad. Like, it's so bad. Yeah. And you use the Dow. No, I can't do the Dow and Twisted because I don't have the money for that. That's honestly, that's like money wise, that's a really grindy game too. Sticking probes into tornadoes is not recommended, right? Yeah, but if you want to make the most money, you get paid for probing the tornadoes. Believe it or not, yeah, you get paid. Yeah, that's kind of, it's a lot like this game. It's tough to really like get anywhere money wise relatively quick, you know. If that it's like, really, it's like any game, right? Like if you have a game that's your go-to game and you just play it all the time, that's like all you play exclusively, right? Then you're going to get somewhere, right? Like you're playing that thing day in and day out all the time. It's like a job. But if you're like me and you're a casual gamer and you hit these games up once in a blue moon and they're already really kind of grindy, it takes forever. Like this one, like it literally takes forever to get anywhere. You know, money wise, we're sitting at 18,532, so we're doing pretty good on that. We've got some money. Let's select this bad boy, get him on the way. Yeah, we need to get, man, I don't remember anything about this game. I really just don't. I feel like it's been a year. It really just hasn't. Save up money to buy the Dow. You need grind money into it. Yeah, you do. But what, the Dow is like $300,000 or something. I don't have anything remotely like that. I may have 20 or 30. I may have 20 or 30 in that game. You know, and your payout is really highly dependent on how well you probe the tornadoes. So, I mean, yeah, you know, you can make a ton of money sometimes, and other times, like I got an intercept on one tornado. That thing was like an EF5, and I racked up so much money, it was ridiculous. It was like 10 grand. But it's like few and far between. You don't see the large, violent, like destructive tornadoes in game like you used to. Like, you used to see some really serious tornadoes, and you don't, like, they're a lot more rare. There's a lot more mid days in game than like the really crazy violent days that you used to see. Okay, so we got to switch all this. New Game Pass truck it. Yeah, I did see that, Drifter. I saw that. I may check that out. I think I've got a few Robux. I think it's like 300 Robux to get that. We may have to grab that and see what it's about. I hope you just make good money. Like, I totally, I get the premise of grinding games, right? Because they want you to play the game, you know? But grinding games aren't conducive for casual players. Money-wise, your railroad is 22,000. Your route has signals and the Y at Alarka Junction. Nice. That's cool. Yeah, I need to... I don't know if I'm going to do signals right away, but I do need to do that Y. I think right now, what we left off at was... I think we're trying to get the... Oh, that needs to go back south. Okay. Yeah, that needs to go... That needs to go on the southbound train. We can't forget that. All right, let's set him over there. The 901, what's up, man? How you doing? This is howdy, Spur. How you doing? Hope you're having a good day. Cold here. Use Bill's truck. And Dorothy and Twisted. Yeah, I need to get back in there. Like I said, it's been ages since I've been in there. What did I just... Did I select the right guy? Yeah, I did. Something going on here. What's going on? There we go. Now I should be able to do something. Yeah, I need to get back in there. I need to... Like, last week, my internet really kind of just jacked everything up. Like, I tried to test upload to YouTube last week just to see if I could do some videos, and it was going to be like a 16-hour upload. Like, my upload speed was tanked so damn bad last week. It was ridiculous. I could, like, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. Like, 1,500 kilobytes per second, maybe. F4, F5, the strongest. Yeah, I've only seen a few F5s. When I first started playing Twisted, it's like you saw so many like extreme tornadoes on that game. It was really easy to catch one. And it's like they did an update at some point and they're like few and far between now. They're not anything like they used to be. Used to see like, what is the ratings? Like severe days or so? It wasn't severe. What was it? I can't remember, but they changed something up and you don't see like the destructive tornadoes like you used to in that game. Runny, what's up, dude? How you doing? Good morning. Let's check on Twitch, make sure. All right, Twitch is okay over there, still looking good. Let's check on Twitch, make sure. All right, Twitch is okay. That was weird. Just got an echo out of that for some reason. Let's check on Twitch, make sure. All right, Twitch is... There we go. All right, that was X. X has got the delay, right? It's got the delay. Get this straightened out real fast here. There we go. All right, now we good. Yeah, I need to get back in Twisted for sure. I think Twisted. We need to look at Into the Flames too. I know I've had several people say that there's been an update with Into the Flames. They've changed something on there. They added AI firefighters or like legit AI firefighters or something. Why is there like... All right, let's fix this. We busted our air and didn't turn it out for some reason. I guess I didn't click it right. All right, so we got the Ayla car set over. We need to clear this guy up on this track. We need to take Big Mike and grab these wood racks and take them up the hill. Start making... I don't even know what the passenger job is doing. Like, what is... Like, where is he even at? Okay, he's on his way. He's on his way. Let's get... Let's grab the 300. And let's bring him down. We'll bring him down in this track right here. So we start getting our southbound trip ready to go. We make that money. You watch Tofu? He plays Twisted. I think I've seen his stuff on Twisted before. I know I've watched some stuff back in the day on Twisted. Like I said, it's a good game. It's a good game. You can't beat it for being basically free. I mean, you can spend money on it if you want to. Right? It's like any Roblox game. You can put money into it if you want to. You don't have to. You can just play it. I'll worry about it. Oh, come on. Really? This is as far as you want to clear? Dude, come on. Bro. You gotta do... Just give me a little bit more. We don't... Take about another car, so there we go. All right, we'll grab Big Mike. What's he doing fuel wise? Is he good? Yeah, he's good. He's fine. All right, let's grab these wood racks here. Have you checked out the new Stockton route in Run 8? No, I want to get that one. That's the next one I want to do. I really want to check that out. I love the Central California railroading in Run 8 as far as West Coast stuff, right? It's like, that's my favorite on the West Coast. I'm just not much of a mountain guy. It takes so long. It takes so long to get anywhere when you're going up and down mountains all the time. Yeah, so that's the next one. I definitely want to check that out. That's some good high-speed railroading, right? 70-mile-an-hour running. Pretty much flat. There's hardly any grades on that route. Tons of industries to work. Yeah, that looks like that would be a good one. I've peeked on it. I've watched a few videos on it. It looks like it. I've really enjoyed the AGS. It's just been a great route too. We just finished that run up yesterday, running long hood forward. I've got my long hood forward fixing. We're not doing that anymore for a while because that's kind of a pain. It's kind of a pain to run long hood forward as a one-man crew. All right, there we go. Good with that. We don't have any handbrakes, so we can take this guy all the way to the top. It feels like it's been ages since I've been up here. Up the Walker branch. Do you have snow in real life? We got a tiny dusting the other night. I think we're going to get like a half-inch Thursday. We might get a dusting tonight. So no, not much. It varies here. Like, I've seen a lot here, and I've seen a lot of, like, we see a lot of that really dry, dusty snow that just kind of blows all over. Like, you'll see it swirling across the highway, the road and stuff. Very seldom do we ever see like a heavy, wet snow here. Can you build a snowman? Not really. No, once in a while you can if you get enough, but not really. Definitely not here lately. It's nothing for us to get like 2, 3, 4 inches, you know, sometimes, but I'm trying to think the last time like we had a really good snow. I think the last good snow we had was like a day or two before Halloween a few years ago, and it knocked our power out for like 8 hours because it snowed. Like, it was a really heavy, wet snow, and all the leaves were still on the trees. Like, the trees hadn't even dropped their leaves yet, and it just snowed this day and snowed like no tomorrow, and the limbs were just snapping out of the trees because the leaves were so covered in snow. Like, the limbs were just breaking out of the trees, and our power went out for, yeah, it was a good while. It was like 6 or 8 hours. All right, so that's good. Heavy snow in Kansas City, right? Yeah. I've seen that. Kansas, like, that area is a mess. All right, so the number one's here. What is he doing fuel? I think he's good fuel wise. Oh, I didn't even, doggone it. I just read this thing and didn't even have the passenger. I thought I'd already had the passenger set up. I guess I didn't. Yeah, that totally sucks. We completely goofed that up. Par for the course on my railroad. Par for the course. All the time. If something isn't messed up, then I'm not railroading. Like, okay. We're not going to jerk these by. I don't want to mess with that. We're just going to take this guy and run him around. We'll just run him around the traditional way. Let's see if he does it. That's going to be interesting to see. Trains do what, Drifter? Yeah, I need to. I wish we could hurry up and get the tier bumped up on Robinson Cole. Like, I need it to be 5. It's still tier 3. I can't change it yet. All right, so that guy's running around. Now we need to grab this dude. So Appalachian, hardwood. Freight house. So they go up here, right? Yeah. Freight house. I've got 3 going up there. Right? How did I wind up with 4 going to the freight house? That's not even all going to spot. Yeah, that's not even going to. Yeah, that's not even going to fit. How did we manage that? Did we miss something? Like, I don't see 4 go. Maybe 4 will go in here. Might take 4. Actually, seeing this little bit of a tail there. So, I haven't seen the gold painted CB and Q steamer. No, I have not. I admit it. I have not. Spur has a crazy life. It's hard for me to remember, like, one day to the next what's going on. It really just is. It's hard to remember one day to the next. Like, I've got a thing I got to do this evening, and I've set like alarms on my phone and all kind of stuff, like, to make sure that I remember this, because sure enough, I will forget it. Okay, so I think we're going to take the 600, and I think what we're going to do is just. He's totally not going to like that, right? He's totally not going to like that. Let's see if we do. Let's bring him up here. Oh, it's going to do that. You know what? Whatever. As long as he's doing it, I don't care. I wouldn't have done it that way, but fine. Life is a bitch and then you die. Life is so busy this time of year. I just want to see your reaction on your face, right? Well, I hope it. I was like, no, I haven't. I genuinely want to go check it out. I just keep forgetting. It is. This time of year is really crazy. The kids are out, like, doing all the Christmas stuff. And then, like I said, my middle daughter was sick. You know, finally she's doing much better now. She's doing really good, but man, it's been a tough month. I mean, honestly, like, month of December, you know, and I went into month of December. December is usually always a good month on YouTube, right? I'm like, oh yeah, we're going to maximize on this. Views are up in December. RPM is up because advertisers are paying money because of Christmas. I was like, this is going to be a good month, man. I'm going to really grab the bull by the horns and take it on, and then didn't really get to hardly do anything in December. You know, I hardly did anything in December. So the railroader just get an interchange update. I just started a new day and got more cars and interchange since before last year. Really? I don't know, damn Yankee. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. I don't know. I don't think it's gotten updated. It didn't I mean, I guess it could have auto updated on Steam, but I didn't update anything. Taxes, gifts, and fights. Welcome December and January. Yeah, I know. I was just thinking this morning, kids getting ready for school. I was like, okay, so what do we got to focus on in January that's going on? I don't know, but my middle daughter, like, because she was in the hospital right before school let out, she missed her midterms, and so now she's got to do all that and doctor's notes and all that stuff. So we got to get all that sorted out. I haven't seen an update or increase in cars as interchange. No, I haven't either, honestly, like, just off the top of my head, but I haven't played this in a while either, so it's hard to say. I did work on my stream area. It doesn't look like it, like, y'all can't tell, but I've I've actually behind the scenes I've done some stuff, so it's probably going to be changing. My stream corner here is going to be changing at some point. I got some stuff that I've been wanting to work on, so I did kind of get to tackle that a little bit the other day. All right, so we need to grab that empty, set him over, and then spot these guys up. Right, they all go there. Freight house, freight house, freight house, freight house. I think some of these are for the fuel stand. I've never had more than 2 cars on the spot up here. I think some of these are for the fuel stand. I think it's 2 cars. 2 cars on the spot for the fuel stand that we're putting in, which we really need. Okay, this guy's good to go. Let's get the we got to get the number 1 out of here pronto, so he won't be in the way. Let's send him on his way to Whittier. NWF, one of these days I'm going to surprise you though, bro. You're going to be like, did you check that Steam route? I'm going to be like, yes, I did. We were waiting on it. I'm going to be waiting on it that day too. We were waiting on it. I'll be like, actually, I did check it out. Doesn't look like there's any update. Yeah, I don't. You've been getting 30, 35 cars. 56 showed. Did you do something different, Yankee? Like, did you expand your railroad, or did you change tiers or something on your stuff? Like, that's the only thing I can think of that would make a change. Right, let's check this guy out while we're here too. Good. He's all loaded up, so we gotta set these over. This place is a pain to work right here. Really just is. I don't think, will they fit? Yeah, they won't fit on that lead. That's the part that sucks. They won't fit on that lead. Yeah, I don't know why it would increase by 20 cars unless something happened on your railroad. Right? Something changed up for some reason. Something changed. All right. I still just don't understand why my chat isn't aggregating like it used to. The other day it was. Today it's not. Not aggregating at all. That was the whole point of all this stuff that I put on OBS. Added tier 1 silver paper, received 5 extras recipe. Yeah, my railroad's pretty steady as far as the inbound. Unless I just jack something up. Or if those other cars are ready to load out. See, they're down here, right? Oh, we don't even have any cars down there yet. I feel like my routine's out of whack in this game for some reason. Like, I had a very like set, rigid routine that I did in this game, and it seems like it's not. How many locomotives do I have rostered? We have... Where's it tell that at? Right here? Yeah, engine roster. There we go. We've got the number 1, 2, and 3, 100, 300, 301, 600, 601, 602, 800, and 1900. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We've got 11. We need to make it 12. Yeah, we need to make that 12. We need to make it an even 12. So we're getting there. It's just taking forever. That's one thing that bugs you about Railroad, or you miss that once in your routine. And yeah, like you get it out of whack and it's hard to get. Like I had it running so good, and then I had that day, and I think it was on a stream a while back, where I wanted to sleep a couple hours to to let something finish loading, and I wound up sleeping an entire day. And so at that point, I had finished everything in the cycle that I was supposed to do. And that's where everything, that was the point. Everything got jacked up in game, and it hasn't been right since, as far as like how this railroad runs, believe it or not. Now I see what it's like for real life railroads when they have these meltdowns. Y'all remember when, what was it? The UP had a big meltdown way back in the day when they got the SP, right? Didn't they have some kind of big meltdown? Something happened. All right, so we're going to set these guys over on top. We're going to let that finish loading. We could probably... Where are those? I don't even know where all those cars are at. Are they sitting on the spot? Yeah, okay, they are on the spot. So we need to come back and move these. They have more options for skipping time. Yeah, I think... Oh. That is different. Yeah, last time I played, it wasn't like this. Okay, so... I wanted to skip a few hours, and somehow I wound up sleeping because I just hit the wrong button. Like, it's a typical Spur freaking thing, right? They just randomly hit the wrong button and like it completely made. But this is different. Yeah, this is completely different. You can access the time window easier by clicking the time in the upper. Really? Okay. So I did a little quality of life. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, you can hit finance too. Cool. Okay, that's good. Some nice little quality of life updates there. Okay, so we grab those. We're going to set them back on top. Cut off, go get the other empty cut, bring it down, spot it up, then hopefully come back and get the... Yeah, it's just... It's not working right as far as how things flow. It doesn't feel like it's nearly as fluid. First Railroad doing the same as at the moment getting logs for... Yeah, that's a large part of this game. I really wish when I started playing this game that I had spent more time hauling logs and making money. I progressed way too fast. I got Silva, like as soon as I could get Silva, I got it, and I should have, like, I did not have the power and the equipment to make that happen. I should have never done that. And once you do it, it's just like playing catch-up game then. You know, it's like, once it's done, it's done. You pulled the trigger. Yeah, put toothpaste back in the tube. You know, so it's like I was constantly playing catch up, like trying to buy more locomotives and stuff like that to be able to handle that service. What does the sawmill look like? Are they doing good? Oof, yeah, they're about half, a little less than half. Okay, so this dude's good. We'll take him. Let's take him to Whittier. Let's grab that empty cut. Thank God for the AI in this game. Honestly, if they hadn't have done this waypoint thing, I like the game, but I probably wouldn't have played it nearly as much as I do now. It honestly, it would have been like a once in a blue moon thing for me. Okay, so he's going to come over here. He's going to grab those. We'll get back to him in a bit. Let's go back up here. I could have swore I told the number 1 to go to Whittier. Did I not? Like, why is he not going? He's loaded up, right? Twenty-four passengers waiting. Are we full? Why we got... Oh, Larka. Okay. Yeah, there's nothing we can do about that. Okay, we'll get that later. I could have swore I AI'd this dude down to Whittier. Did I not do that? Did I not, like, waypoint him to the fuel stand? Who did I waypoint to the fuel stand? I don't see anyone. You did silver early on and then limited the contracts what my motive power can handle. Yeah, I mean, I didn't expand any. I've just now expanded some of that stuff, but it was still a lot. With a handful of moguls and, you know, a 10-wheeler. Is basically what I had, right? Okay, so we grab that empty. You got a brake on it? No. Why? Whoa. Why are you moving, dude? Where's he going? Is this the one I waypointed down to Whittier? I kind of wonder now. Yeah, I kind of wonder if this is the one that I... Yeah, that's totally... I'm going to have to do this manually. That is totally not going to work. Stop. Yeah, we'll reverse this guy. We'll set this one over and shove these others in there on the spot. We'll be good. Go down, work Appalachian Hardwoods. We should be good in Bryson. There's not much going on up here today. Not a lot going on in Bryson. I've waypointed this stuff so much, it feels weird doing it like manually now. I hardly ever run these trains manual. No, that's good. We'll just let them roll. Come on. Ah. Okay, now we can waypoint them. You love Railroader, but it's too much like Groundhog Day, too repetitive. I get burned out too easily. Yeah. It's very grindy, that's for sure. I mean, I've played a lot of grindy games over the years. I mean, World of Warcraft is one of the grindiest games you could ever play. That's like the king of grindy games. That's all you do in that game is grind day in and day out. Chasing that carrot on a stick. As soon as you get geared up, top tier gear, and you're good to go, then the next update comes out and everything is squished and level squished and whatever, or stat squished, and then you start over again. You know, like... Oh, I did miss that. Back in 97, 98, UP had a meltdown where everything ground to a halt. The very close mergers of CNW and was too much to handle. Okay, yeah, I remember something about them having some kind of a meltdown back in the day. Are these going to fit? We just need a hair. Yeah, we just need a hair. There we go. Yeah, that was literally a hair. That was literally a hair. Like, we moved it a foot. Now it's spotted up. Okay, so we go back. Go back to this guy. Grab them. Everything else is good here. What's our coal look like? Yeah, that's fine too. Yeah, just not much going on up here today. This guy's sitting here ready to go south. We need to take these guys and grab that Ayla car and put them on the head end. Let's do that. Yeah, I totally get it though. This is definitely a grindy game. That's what I was saying earlier. I wish there was a way, a setting, something where it would allow a casual player to progress a little faster. I don't want to have to play this game like a year to be able to get anywhere. What do you have your graphics for Run 8 set to? Vegetation, shadows, reflections, smoke effects. I'd have to look at it and see. It's maxed out pretty good though. I think my view distance on the shadows is down and view distance for lights, because usually those are the things that'll get you right. But I think everything is pretty well maxed out. That's the thing about Run 8. Run 8's not a graphically demanding game, honestly. Like, it's, for what you have in game is actually really good. You're talking about world saves. It may have 5, 6, 7, 10,000 cars. I've had Rice Yard. I've had like 3,000 cars in the bowl in Rice Yard. Like, looking at the bowl in Rice Yard in Waycross, and had a good, you know, few thousand cars down in there, and you could, like, performance wise, you couldn't even tell. But that's a big part of why the scenery is so lacking. Because if you have really amazing scenery in a game, and you go to a scene in that game, and the scenery's already taken up 50-60% of your performance, and then you've got 3,000 cars sitting in a rail yard, there's not much wiggle room, you know? MR Railfan, what's up, man? This is what mod is Waypoints. That's base game, dude. It's base game. They did that in an update. How long ago was that, guys? MD Railer, what's up, man? Good morning. Sorry, I got this stupid cough this morning. I don't know why. I felt like I've been trying to get sick like the last week. I feel better today, but like everyone in the house has had this horrible bug that's been going around, this weird ass virus. It's like had any kind of symptom under the sun. You know, any kind of vomiting, extreme headaches, high fever, walking pneumonia. Like it's got everything associated with this virus. Yes, MD, you're right. It is the experimental branch. That is right. I keep forgetting this is the experimental branch. I don't know why. Like, this should go to the main branch because it's fine. I haven't seen any bugs with this. I mean, honestly, you're absolutely right, though. Thanks for that reminder. Really nice. I can't do that. I can't play this game. I can't play this game without the waypoint thing. Something horrible is going around. Yeah, absolutely. I saw they were talking about mask mandates the other day in some locations. I'm like, bro, that's been here. Like, that's been here for It's already been here for a month. When my middle daughter was in the hospital with it, like the doctor told us she'd seen more cases of walking pneumonia in kids in the last month than she had seen in her entire career. So, I mean, that should tell you something right there. Yeah, it's nasty. Like, it'll really get you down. Mrs. Spur had it. My oldest daughter had it. My middle had it. My youngest had it. My youngest had the stomach bug portion of it. That poor girl. I've never seen someone throw up more in my life. Like, holy cow. She was so sick. I'm surprised that didn't dehydrate the hell out of her, but like... You have to turn down reflections, draw distance, and shadows disabled, but I still only get 30 frames per second max. Yeah, I have all that stuff on. I think I definitely had the shadow and light distance turned down. I'm not sure about draw distance. In Sandbox, you built some locals, just run light run 8, just ignore the business tiers and spot some cars to pick up. Still using the main branch, dude. All the mods I use, yeah, that's another reason why I haven't gone like real mod heavy in this game, because I won't do the experimental branch. All right, so this guy is good to go. This dude, let's grab him. All right, we got the 600. So he needs to go to Appalachian Hardwoods. Nothing to pick up there. 2 to pick up here. We'll just go, yeah, we'll just dip in here and grab this guy. You've been fighting off something for a week or two now. Fatigue, chills, fever, aches, pains. Yeah, like Mrs. Like my youngest daughter just, man, she just threw up like crazy. Half the night and all the next day. My middle daughter had extreme, they said it was a migraine caused by the virus, a viral migraine, which I'd never heard of before. And she was throwing up too, but it was more the migraine than anything, like to the point of tears. Neither one of them ran much of a fever, though. That was the crazy thing about it. Maybe 99 something. My oldest daughter, she was like traditional sick, right? Like real snotty and coughing and sore, really bad sore throat. She ran a high fever. Hers was like 103 and had like extreme joint pain is what she had. Like she said her wrist and her ankles and stuff just like hurt so bad. Mrs. Spur got treated for walking pneumonia. Like it all went to like her chest and stuff. I don't know. It came back negative for everything too. Like the test for COVID, of course. Anytime you go to the doctor sick now, right? The things they test you for is strep, COVID, and flu. All those were negative. Like all those were negative. So here the past week or so, like every once in a while I'll get really chilled. Like, you know how you feel when you start, like you feel like you're starting to get a fever and you feel kind of run down, you know? And I'm like, oh crap, I'm getting sick. I just feel it coming on, right? You just feel chilled. And I drink cayenne pepper, believe it or not, it helps. I haven't got sick yet, knock on wood. Like every time I drink that stuff, it's like the next day I feel better. Been fighting the norovirus thing going around since Christmas. Yeah, it's been a bad year, man. It's just, when my daughter was in the hospital, like they were full. She got the last room, and that's on. Like they get full here from time to time. It's a small hospital. It's not very big at all, but she was the last room. Like that was it. There was no more room. People that were sick. This stuff's been going around here since like I guess I started hearing about it like at Thanksgiving, maybe around Thanksgiving is when it started. There's a bunch of kids like sick in school. Hoosier had a migraine too. I know how she feels. I wanted to cry. And I'm 57. Yeah, she like it was horrible for her, dude. That headache was so bad. It was so bad. She couldn't hardly stand it. And like, man, she was on like Toradol and oh, what were they giving her for the vomiting? It wasn't Zofran. They gave her Phenergan shots. They gave her a few. I think she got 2 Phenergan shots. And then for like days after that, she's having to take Toradol and Zofran. That's a lot for a 12-year-old. Like, that's a lot for a 12-year-old to go through, right? Like, that sounds like something an adult would do, right? You know? Your stomach and lower back were a mess. And yeah, your back hurt. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy what this is going around. It's got so many symptoms. Like, it's so different for a large majority of the people, right? Like one person presents one way. It sounds honestly like it sounds a lot like COVID, right? It does sound a lot like COVID. Wonder if Orange Jeebus will tell us I have no clue on that, dude. No clue. I don't even get into that stuff. We can get into that, but either way, like, it was so many people have been sick. Hopefully we're good. We're done with that. I think everyone is on the road to recovery. Hopefully that's it for this year. Like, we've had our bout. Everyone's been sick. Like, in December, it's pretty regular for my house. Because school, right? Like, they get all this stuff at school and they bring it home, and then it just gets passed around. I thought this year would be a little better too. Like, last year, all my kids were in different schools. I had one in one school, one in another school, one in another school. So like, they were collecting everything that was going around in the entire school system and bringing it home. But this year, 2 of them are in the same school. So I thought, okay, well, it won't be that bad this year. We're only sharing with 2 schools, right? And you know, I don't know. I guess not. All right, so we'll grab this guy. And then I guess we got to kick these 2. No, they go... of course, one goes right here and one goes there. All right, yeah, we'll grab those. We'll be good to go. I was trying to figure out why this chat's still not aggregating. I don't get what's changed. This was literally working the other day. I could do YouTube, X, and Twitch, and now it's just saying YouTube. Spur, how's your girl that had the heart episode a couple years back? Oh yes, that was my oldest. She didn't have a heart episode. It wasn't her heart, it was her lung. Her lung collapsed. She had a spontaneous collapsed lung, believe it or not. It when she was in 4th grade. Believe it or not, probably one of the scariest things I think I've probably ever had to go through. Like, she went to school, and within a few hours of going to school, she was at PICU in Amarillo at BSA with a collapsed lung. It was the craziest thing ever. Craziest thing ever. You would never guess in a million years, like that. But either way, she's doing much better. Like, she's completely recovered from that. So what happened was, she had we didn't know, she had a birth defect in her right lung. So basically what she had was these little bubbles in the top of her lung, in the tissue that are called blebs. And they're basically like a little, trying to think how to explain it. It's almost like a bubble from bubble wrap, I guess. It's like these little bubbles. Usually they're in clusters. And they're really weak. And they can burst. And sometimes they burst and your lung could collapse a little bit, like just the top of it. And sometimes they can self-resolve. And sometimes they cause your lung, hers are bad enough they cause her lung to collapse completely. And so then she had to have she had to have surgery. Like a water blister? Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, I guess. It's hard for me to explain. The doctor, like, it's crazy. The surgeon that did it, she had to have the top of her lung removed, a little bit of it, because she had a cluster of those blebs. Like, one burst, but she had more that could potentially burst. The doctor, like, when she talked to us after the surgery, she had pictures on her phone. They did it laparoscopically, right? Like, they went in through her side and her back. She had pictures on her phone of, like, my daughter's lung, like, where they were working on it. It was the craziest thing ever. Like, she was sharing us pictures. So yeah, they had to take the very top of her lung off, like the point. They removed that, and that removed all the blebs, and then, like, she's good. Yeah, she's good. It's quite common in, like, really tall teenage boys. That sounds horrible. Your kid's stronger. Yeah, dude, that was the scariest thing. Like, she had to have a chest tube. Like, we live in a small town in the middle of nowhere, and the doctor that we go to all the time, you see him all the time, out and about town and everywhere, like, he had to start a chest tube on her and, cut her open and stick his finger in and bust the membrane and start, like, it was crazy. It was the craziest thing. Like, it really just was. We dropped her off to school. She got up that morning and she was complaining about her shoulder hurting. She told us her shoulder was hurting, and we thought she slept on it wrong. Like, you don't think of something like that happening to your kid. Like, who would have ever guessed that? It wasn't horrible. She was just like, my shoulder hurts. And she kept working it, and they were like, well, you slept on it wrong, right? Like, so what else could it be? And so we took her to school. She went to school, and we thought, okay, it'll work out. You'll go to school and you'll be all right. It's just a little stiff. You slept on it wrong. So she went to school, and we got a call from their coach. They had walked a mile. They had walked 1 mile to the football field, ran laps, and come back to the school. So she had walked 2 miles, ran laps at the football field. No one had any idea. Like, the coach said when they were walking back, she started having trouble breathing, and said she was turning blue, and they checked her O2 level at school, and it was the nurse, and it was, like, really low, and they're like, you need to come get her. Something's wrong. And we had no clue. Like, we took her to the ER, and they did an x-ray, and her lungs collapsed. Who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought that it just spontaneously collapsed like that? So either way, like I said, she's doing much better. Knock on wood, she won't ever have to deal with that again. It's the craziest thing, like, watching them remove the chest tube. So we were so lucky. She had, like, the most amazing doctors out of Lubbock. One of the surgeon that worked on her was from Chicago. She was semi-retired, and she came down to Amarillo to do surgery like once a month. And, like, everyone told us, they're like, you are so lucky, because she's, like, the best of the best to do this. Semi-retired, was coming down to hang out with her grandkids, work down here a few days, and wound up doing that surgery. But she had that chest tube. I didn't realize when you have a chest tube, like it goes way up in there. Like they inserted it right here in her side, but it goes like way up to the top. It has a little tube that goes in there, you know? So like she had like that much tube inside her chest. And the doctor, the day they let her out of the hospital, the doctor from Lubbock, a different doctor came to take it out. He's like, all right, you get to go home today. I know you're excited about that. He's like, well, we got to take that chest tube out. And so he's like, I'm just going to yank it out. He's like, we're going to count to 3 and I'm going to yank it out. And I just need you to be really still. And so he got behind her and he grabbed it and counted 1, 2, 3 and just yanked as hard as he could. And that tube, like, it was the craziest thing I'd ever seen. Like, him pulling that thing out. it was wild. I was like, man. Yeah, she is. She's tough. Yeah, she was real tough. I know a lot of adults that would have had an extremely hard time. She was in a hospital for like 7 days with that too. A chest tube for 7 days before they actually figured out what was going on. Not apparent yet, but that sounds horrifying. So sorry you had to go through it. Yeah, it worked out, and I thank God every day that was, you know, something that everything just worked out, right? Everything just, you know, was fine. We had the doctors, you know, we had the doctors that we needed at every point, you know, the PICU doctor, the surgeon, the other doctor from Lubbock, like, you know, it worked out perfectly. We had a good outcome. Yeah, it is. It's horrible when, you know, something like that happens with your kid. So we were very lucky. Needless to say, we were very lucky. All right. We'll kick this guy down. We'll kick the other one in, and then we'll be good to go here. Sorry, I didn't mean to get off on a whole tangent about that. All right, let's get these guys. I think this bottom one, okay, yeah, that bottom one goes to the far end. All right, we'll do one and then we'll do the other. He says modern medtech is amazing. Glad they could get her all. Yeah, it is amazing, dude. It was amazing. Like, I couldn't believe the doctor had like she made pictures with her phone with her phone as she was doing the surgery. She's like, you want to see it? Right. It's crazy. Like, this was the most like straight-laced, deadpan surgeon you could ever meet. Like, she didn't smile and laugh about anything. She was very serious all the time, you know. And like, we asked her, like, what should we do? Should we have the surgery or just go with it? Because the surgery was optional. She didn't have to have the surgery, but if she did, she could have another lung collapse. And the doctor's like, I can't tell you that, you know. But when she had the pictures, like after the surgery, she was like all smiles and like wanting to show the pictures and everything else. It was crazy. So I got pictures of my daughter's lung from the inside. It's crazy. On a lighter note, completely off topic question. When you worked at CSX, did you ever get to run A720 out of Manchester? Yes, I did. I worked the A720 all the time, dude. Regularly worked that one. I worked that as the conductor and the brakeman. Really good job. Yeah, it was actually a really, really good job. There, we'll send this guy on his way. Let's get the next one here. And now we gotta grab the switch here. Are you in the tree branch there? What's... Oh, yeah, it's just... We're flying around. We're in the trees there. Sometimes you can't help it. That dude's going right. There we go. We're going to switch back. Let's go back to AE. Waypoint. Grab those guys. We'll be good to go. Right, let me get this guy's handbrake real fast. Let's slow down a little bit more. A little bit more than I wanted to. Can you make? Can I make a request? Could you please do a 1 or 2 part video on running the A720 and Run 8? It's my favorite local to run in the whole game. Would love to see how you would run it. Yeah, I could do a video on it. It's not going to be 100% like what we did in real life. It's very, very easy job. It was super easy, honestly, but in order to get around our cars to work Duran, like it was a facing point switch. We used to roll them by there. You can't roll them by in game, unfortunately. I wish you could. Like, the grade's not quite right there. You used to be able to roll them by easy. So we cut the cars off on the main, run the engine in the clear on the track, and then line the switch to the main, and then knock the brakes off and just let them roll, like just roll them by. You rolling by? Can you roll them by there? I didn't think you could. I didn't think there was enough grade there to do that. They gave you a DVD your last colonoscopy. I was like, what am I supposed to do with this? Share it on YouTube? Right? Yeah, I would have to pass on that. I'd be like, yeah, I'm good. I don't need... I'll take your word for it. I don't need to see it. Okay, so this dude is good here. Was there really enough cars to use that whole 700-foot side? Oh, yeah, absolutely. We went in there every day. It kind of changed. When I first hired out, GP Duran was worked by the NS and CSX as a joint. Every Georgia Pacific place that I worked was a joint switch. So what we did there was we always took them 16 cars of logs every day. That was standard. Like, every day they got 16 cars, a pull and replace, like a straight up pull and replace. And then we split the boxes with NS, so they would do some boxes and we would do some boxes, and then they did all the wood chip stuff. They did all the wood chip hoppers. Then a little while after I hired out, we had a tropical storm come through and it washed out the NS. And they decided they weren't going to build back. They closed the line. So when they closed the line, we got the wood chip service too. So at that point, I can't remember how many wood chip hoppers were going in there, but we're definitely 16 logs every day. Handful of boxes, and then all those wood chip hoppers too. So it was a lot. And one says that would be a pretty crappy video, right? Yeah, it would. They gave me a stack of 8x10 glossies. That's, yeah, I would pass on all that. I wouldn't need either. Hey, Spur, how goes it? Just got back from my medical for the short line. What's up, Maverick? Did you get, it sounds like you got hired, dude. Did you get hired? It sounds like Maverick got hired by the short line, right? Did you get hired? Tell me you got hired. Yeah, no idea NS had line through there. Yeah, dude. The bridge that goes over, like, there's 2 bridges right there together at the GP place that go over the tracks, over CSX. One bridge was for the highway and the other one was for NS. That was a really bad spot. There was a high water table right there, and the CSX had to undercut under the NS to do double stacks, and they got into that high water table. They had all kind of water problems there for a long time. They had to go in there and like dig a whole bunch of that out and put some stuff down under the track. Like they did a lot right there. Sounds like congrats. You think you did, so it's just pending your medical? Really? They make you get a medical before they hire? Well, I guess I had to do that before I started for the railroad, so I get that. You there's a line over top, but you thought it was abandoned years and years before it. You didn't know, that was abandoned like in 2003, maybe 2004. I'm trying to remember when that big tropical storm came through. It closed our line for a while too. Like we had a ton of washouts. Yeah, we had a ton of washouts everywhere. Diver says, thanks, Suzer. Yeah, I hope that works out for you, dude. At least you made it to the medical part. Yeah, I'm trying to think, when was that line closed? Yeah, it's like it was 2003, 2004, somewhere in there. No more remotes. I hear you on that, dude. Couldn't imagine not having to mess with that stuff anymore. This is light bulb moment. What's your light bulb moment? That they did that? Yeah, I was jointly served for a long time. Like I said, every GP, the GP that I worked in Talladega, it was jointly served. The one in Duran was jointly served. There was one down in Vienna that closed a long time ago. That was jointly served. Like I guess GP didn't build anywhere unless they could have railroad access from two different companies. That's pretty much how they did that. So I guess we're done here. It looks to be, right? Little Spur, yeah. Used to be the NS line. Yeah, the NS line went to Greenville. I don't know what they did in Greenville, but they had a whole local. They ran that local out of trying to think where that went. I guess Columbus. Yeah, I guess they ran that out of Columbus. And it went Columbus to Greenville and turned and went back. I'm not like GP, I think was the major customer on that route. But yeah, I worked 720 a good bit, and a lot of the times GP was the only place we ever worked. There was a lot of times that was all we did and nothing. Where there's a wood yard up in this place called Standing Rock, Alabama, that we were supposed to go to, but we didn't go there that often. We would kind of blow them off if we didn't want to go up there. There's a few other pulp wood yards that we worked to. I never worked those though, never had a reason to. The only things that I worked on 720 was GP, which was a given every day. And if you messed something up, you were going to hear about it. For sure. And this place called Goodies in Manchester, it's not even in the game. I kind of wish they'd put that place in the game. It was up around Childs. Yeah, I wish they'd put that in game. Being from Montana, I'm very, very unfamiliar with that area, and operations in 720 is always... Yeah, that's a really good job. It was the one local that if I stood for it, I generally tried to jump on it. Like, that was one that I worked, like I said, I worked it a good bit as a brakeman and conductor. It was a good local. I said, it was pretty easy. Just go in there, switch GP, and then be done. Go home. right, so we're going to take him, spot him up. Number 1 sitting down here. Get him topped off. He's going to need some fuel. Nope, stop. Good enough. Yeah, as far as the other locals on the fits, I don't know anything about those. We didn't work any of those. We didn't protect those jobs. So we like your guess is as good as mine. I could have swore the Fitzgerald job was a yard job, but evidently it wasn't. I just don't remember it. When I run it, I use one GP42, spot 5 or 6 wood chips, 5 or 6 box cars. No log cars that don't have a DLC yet. Yeah, I use the pole cars for the log cars. I've used those. Those are okay. Like they're not 100%, right? Like they're kind of janky, but I mean it's better than nothing. But yeah, 16 of those. I worked that job more when NS did it too. I will say that. I'm almost certain I worked it more when NS had it. So when the NS had it, we would take like 16 log cars in 2 boxes, maybe 2-3 boxes, sometimes 4. Like it just varied, right? I'm not sure how many it was a lot of chip hoppers that came out of there. I can't remember how many, maybe 6 or 8. 6? Maybe 6 sounds better to me. You're gonna miss people I work with to see it, and as a rail buff, yeah, that is cool. You're not like GPIs. What does your short line use? What do they have for power? Oh, sweet. We got this outbound cut built already. Nice. Okay, so we did do some stuff on the railroad. I just don't remember it. Yeah, we totally did. Okay, let's run this guy to Silva. If the Run 8 Fits route is based in the early 2000s, why didn't they add in the NS line? I think it's based on like 2004, and I think the NS line was gone. The NS line went away before I quit. So it was either 2003 or 2004 when that went away. Okay, so we're going to run him down to here. All right, 3's doing his thing. Big Mike's up on Walker Ranch loading. I think everyone else is good to go. Can you run a high railer in Run 8? I was seeing a video recently of someone running track mode. Yes, you can. You absolutely can run a high railer in game. Not much you can do with it though. I wish they would do like some kind of rudimentary track maintenance aspect, you know, or signal maintainer or something. No, maintainers didn't really high rail much. They kind of drove to it, but GP40s, the road slugs is 38s, SD40s recently. Oh, they got a 70 Mac. Oh, you're ready to see that thing broke then. Yeah, I'd like to see a purpose of the high railer. It has zero purpose, right? Other than just a novelty. You can just do it. I would like to, I don't really know like what exactly. maybe if they simulated like broke rail, you know, something like that. I don't know. I would love to eventually see a maintenance aspect to the game. I'm telling you right now, if they put tampers and ballast regulators in game, I would do that. I would do that from time to time. I'd just go tamp a curve. You know, they need to have a system where the track has a condition associated with it, right? And it's, I don't know how they could do it though, but it, like, let's say curves would have a lower condition or a wear rate that would be higher than straightaway, if that makes sense, right? Tangent track. So a curve would have a higher wear rate than tangent track. So let's say you look on the map, your track is shown in green in this section because it's in good condition. This curve is orange because, or yellow or whatever, because it's a little worse condition. Maybe it needs a rail, you know, maybe it needs a rail gang. Maybe it needs to be surfaced and tamped. You know, you can tamp and surface it. You might need to put rail in it. It may need ties, you know, like I would love to see that kind of aspect in Run 8. You know, that's just me. And so your ideal scenario is to have all your track green, right? If it's orange, and you got to go in there and work on it. I would like that. Use a high rail to familiarize yourself. I've never done that. I've been in the high rail maybe one time. You get Run 8 if they offer MOW. Yeah, absolutely. Maintenance away would be fun. At a minimum, have a tie gang, or to be surfacing crew, right? Surface gang. A tamper and a ballast regulator. Like, those things are all over the place. So that's like the minimum track maintenance, right? Surfacing the track. Next two would be rail and ties. But it just made us away cars, so maybe your idea is in the works. Think about it. Track geometry cars, now they have tie and wheel flats. Take the hint. Yeah, it'd be cool. Just use a high railer as eye candy. Or we could just go PSR and not do anything. Yeah, that was pretty much the way our railroad was back in the day. They didn't do much either. We had to have an emergency jamboree on our line because we derailed 2 trains back to back because of track conditions. They derailed one. I can't remember what happened. I think the gauge spread or something. They derailed like 20 or 30 cars. They got that cleaned up. And the first train to go through there after they cleaned up, that derailment went a mile down the line and they derailed another 20 or 30 cars. So at that point, they did an emergency track jamboree. They had gangs from all over the system up there working. It was crazy how much stuff they were doing at one time. Like, they just like brought a large majority of everything they had, put it on the line, and put everything to work. I remember us having a slow order on the route. Like, it was miles long. It was miles and miles where they had gone in. I can't remember if they did ties. It was ties. Yeah, they'd gone in and replaced ties, but they hadn't finished surfacing, or they didn't have. Let's see, if you surface the track, if you put a what are those things called back then, a dynamic stabilizer or something, it basically vibrates the track, right? So they go in and they tamp it, and they do the regulator, and they form the ballast, and then they tamp it. And then they have this machine that they'd run on it called a track stabilizer, and it just basically, it puts these wheels down on the track and puts pressure on it and just vibrates like crazy, just it settles the track. And what that thing was supposed to do was simulate so many trains going over, because if, like, there's 2 things they could do. They could either use a track stabilizer on it Or if they surfaced, they would put a slow order on it for like they had to run so many trains over it before they could take the slow order off after they surfaced the track. Well, if they used the track stabilizer, they didn't have to do the slow order because it was already good to go. So they did like miles of this tie work, and they didn't have a track stabilizer or something, and then they put a slow order on it, and like so many trains had to go over it on this, you know, track before it could get back up to speed. That was when we had all the washouts and stuff too. Like everything came to a head. It's like they had deferred so much maintenance on the route that like everything came to a head at one time. That happened here in a derailed and punctured tank car carrying hazmat. Yeah, I don't know if we had any hazmat spilled in those two. Nothing can beat my local derailment with beer in the river, getting all the fish drunk. That's funny. Said car was fouling the main too. Oh, was it left in the foul? Is that what caused the derailment? Yeah, we did. We had a huge jamboree. It was the entire subdivision, 200 miles. Like, it was nothing but one big, like, one big work order the entire way. You had to talk to so many people. It was honestly, like, it was kind of nerve-wracking. We had to talk to so many people along the way during that time. It's like for a month, a good month or so. Like 200 miles of just one work order, like one after another work limits. All right, what are we? This dude's at Wilmot's. What's going on? So I guess we're good. I guess we can go ahead. We can cut this guy off. He may need... Yeah, he's... I don't know. We'll take him down there. He's not going to be doing anything else. We may as well go top him off. Look at the Montana Rail Lake Paradise derailment. Locals went down the river with boats and saw all the beer. That used to be a thing back in the day. I remember when I was a kid, they had several derailments. I remember they had a big derailment outside of the town I grew up in one time. And you could go there and get a truckload of lumber. All the lumber that you could put in the back of your truck for $5. Oh, it derailed on a yard track and jackknife onto the main. I remember people were going to that derailment. They were getting lumber. They were getting toilet paper. They were getting like cologne. Like they were getting all kind of stuff. It was a ton of stuff that they were getting from that. Like they would just let people come in and like salvage what they could. And then that was less stuff they had to clean up. Can't do that no more. You can't even begin to get around a derailment anymore. Maybe they purposely derailed them on purpose free beer. They had. They used to set out beer cars on his lead in Georgia way back in the day, and someone figured out what was on those cars and they used to break into them and steal beer. I wish they would redo Georgia Pacific at campground because Cerro doesn't. Yeah, it's not quite. Yeah, it's not quite set up the way it should be. Back in MRL had a major sun kink. We were buying a bunch of steaks destined for a Ponderosa restaurant that burned down. where they decided to sell the stakes to the public since they didn't have anywhere to go. I worked with a old head conductor. He was in a derailment. In fact, I got pictures of it where they went down in the river. They went in the Tallapoosa River. It's got a picture of the lead engine, the nose of it sitting down in the river. They had like an SD40-2, a C30-7, a B23, and an SD40. And the lead engine went in the river. Drivers at a truck stop when you were over the road? Really? So they just said, hey, you want some steaks? And then the trucking company just kept the money? Like, how did that work? I guess they just kept the money, right? Like that helped pay for the cost since there wasn't a recipient. Honestly, never really thought about that before. Dispatcher told him to just get rid of it, huh? Just dump it off. Get what you could. A bunch of steaks. I imagine they did pretty good on that. Was it nothing but steaks on the trailer? That seems like, for the way steaks go around here, it seems like they make a pretty decent amount off of that. Didn't know where for it to go. He had to load, wait, and take it back home. Old neighbor worked for BNSF over Mirage Pass. Drove into an avalanche at 25. Said that it was the only thing that could stop a train. Snow and ice everywhere. I'm making Maverick hungry. I am too. I just had some Cocoa Pebbles for this morning. I rated my I rated my kid's cereal. What did that? Yeah, that's what happened to the conductor I knew that went down the river. They hit a rock slide. They hit a rock slide and it made them go down in the river. He was on the second out engine. He was on the C30-7. The engineer told him later. He said he hurt his feelings because he saw him go by and he didn't wave at him because the lead engine went down. Like the lead engine, like turned around kind of the other direction and went down in the river, and the second out engine went by him with the brakeman on, and he was a brakeman, and he said it hurt his feelings because he didn't wave when they went by. Okay, so I think this dude is ready to go. I think we can send him south. We just gotta stop off in Ayla. Take care of that guy. Yeah, let's go to Ayla. That was the last stop of 4 for him. I remember that though. There were several derailments you could go load up on stuff. You absolutely could. Like they just let the public come in and strip it clean, right? And then all they had to do is go back and just get, you know, the freight cars and some other stuff. What is this mess? They changed it up. But look what happened. We had 2 cars on the spot and they got completely goofed up. So how is this going to work out? That's the most railroad thing you ever heard, right? Yeah. That dude was... I didn't know. This engineer was like long gone before I ever even came along. The conductor I worked with hired out in 68. This happened in... I think that derailment happened in 85 or 86. I think it was right after CSX formed, so 86. Yeah, I think it was 86. So that engineer was like, he was really old when that happened, and he was long gone. They say he was an old steam engineer. Oh, pulled out just fine. Casey says he had that happen in my game too. Pulled out just fine. Okay, I was kind of concerned because I was like, how do you get rid of cars if something happens, if something bugs? Okay, well that's good. I'm glad they put something in though. That's really nice to see that change there, that little update. All right, so we got 2 to pull here, 1 to spot. Wait, no. Stop. 300. Stop. No, we can't send him. He can't go. He can't go. We need to send him back. We got to go back to Bryson. We don't have our wood racks. Our wood racks we need to wait and hold this guy till the evening. It's too early for him to go. I knew I was holding him here for a reason. We got to go back 300. Just go back. Like, come back. Go back. Scratch that. I need you to go back to the terminal, dude. Yeah, that is just reverse. Yeah, you need to reverse. You got to hold. You got to hold till late evening. He doesn't go. I don't know what I was thinking. He doesn't go back until late evening because that's when the pulpwood loads up. And then... North Las Vegas truck stop was a good place to buy UCB radios and stuff. Oh, they take a shuttle to the strip that they need to fuel. Oh, I got you. I used to have a CB in my truck, or my pickup truck. It was a Cobra 29. That thing was awesome. I'm looking at Georgia Pacific Campground in Google Earth. Why on earth is the siding dispatcher control? They're not manual switch. What siding are you talking about? Because the siding at Campground was a dispatcher controls siding. You had the siding at Campground, and then you go a little further down towards Duran. The place was called Duran, where the GP plant was at. That had a little storage track that went off on the left, and then the spur went on around to the plant. That was manual. The 700-foot siding in front of the... Is dispatcher controlled? Really? Oh, you had a spare CB in case your primary one quit. Yeah, CBs used to be a thing back in the day. Even like Joe Schmo on the street would have a CB. Like, they became like the rage. Everyone had CBs. I used to get on the CB. On Google Street View, there are remote switches? Really? I don't know, NWF. It wasn't like that when I worked. They're just regular old hand throw, manual hand throw switches. Maybe they're those switches that you can dial up from the cab and have them to throw. Maybe they cut the brakeman off that job, and so in order to make it a little easier, they just have it where they can dial it up from the cab. I don't know. I'll have to look at that, though. I'll have to check that out now. This has got me wondering. I haven't looked at that place in ages. Okay, this dude's back. Let's see. What does this guy look like? Oh man, he's not even... We didn't finish this up. We didn't do what we're supposed to do. Too much. GP Duran closed. Yes, you're right. I think you're right. I think it did close. Which is kind of crazy. Been there forever. Nick from Vegas, gotta go. I got a work meeting. All right, dude. I hope you have a good day. We're gonna be on here a little bit longer. I'm gonna have to go too. See about lunch. Like I said, if I don't see you again, have a good rest of your day. Okay, now that guy can get loaded up. Yeah, there's a lot. All right, well, we'll go work the rest of our stuff. 300 can't go yet. He's got to stay up here. 601 is done. He's got to go to Stenzel, though. Yeah, let's grab him. Let's send him to Stenzel. Then we'll pick this guy up too. Oh, we gotta do we gotta do the brakes. Now he's good. I'm thinking that maybe it's something to do with the campground siding extension. The west end of the siding is now just outside the old Jeep. Yeah, they extended that when I was working right before I quit. They did that. They did that, and they did the runaround in Manchester. Those were the two things that they did. That was like early 04, late 03 maybe. Mrs. Spur, what's up? How you doing? Checking in from work. Maybe I'd have to get on there and look. Take a peek at it, see what's going on. Yeah, that was like campground when I worked was like 6,000 foot siding, give or take. This versus how's it going? It's going good. Just doing a little railroad, doing some switching. Yeah, it was 6,000 feet. They extended it to like 10. Something like that. I think that was the only big projects they did that when I worked was that and the runaround track. I can't think, like, off the top of my head, I can't think of anything that they did. The siding at campground, the little wood bridge that goes over the tracks there on the right-hand side, like if you're facing south on the right-hand side, there's a big tree over there. There's a private grave over there. It's one of the old railroaders that used to work the line. He was buried out there under a tree. I've never been there myself. That's what I think there's a grave up there. I think he owned that property out there. It was a wood bridge. I don't know what it is now. Alright, so we'll spot this guy. We'll be good. We'll be good to go. Pick this guy up. Shove it back. Tack it on the bottom of those other cars there. That'll be done. So it looks like we had a large majority of this stuff done and taken care of. We just had to... we just got to wait on stuff to load. Oh, it's extended again to 13,000. I didn't know that. Yeah. So was it 2002 that they did that? Really? I thought it was 2003-04. Maybe that's when they finished the Manchester, the runaround, because I don't think I ever, like, I remember the runaround opening, but I thought it opened like right before I quit. I never even took a train down that thing. Like, I think it opened, I want to say it opened right before. So maybe they did campground and then they did Manchester after that. But I want to say those were like the two big budget expenditures that they did on the route. Like when I worked was those two projects. They have, you're right though. They've done a ton since I left. Like they did the double track all the way to Woodland and put in some new sidings. They put in a siding over on the Alabama side on Lineville sub called Broughton, and they put another one up there up around Yellowleaf. Yeah, they did a siding. They did like 2 sidings. They put the double track in between Parkwood and Grace's, the Boyles terminal. And that's just the things I can think of off the top of my head. Okay, I take that back. They did another big project when I worked too. They extended the siding at a place called Carrara. It was only like 4,000 feet long, 3,600 feet. It was a really tiny siding. They extended that thing to 15,000 feet. I do remember that. I absolutely remember that. So that they did the runaround, they did the siding at Campground, and they did that 15,000 foot siding at Carrara. All this change is crazy down there. Local main lines look almost the same as it did. Yeah, that railroad didn't do much of anything for a long time. I remember when I was a kid, we used to rail fan it. They only had a few sidings on that line that were a mile long. Most all the sidings were like 4,000 feet, 4,500 feet, something like that. They had Campground. Campground was 6. They had they had a siding on the Lineville side called Pine. That was 5,600 feet. Standing Rock was only 44. Roanoke was only 44. Blake was about a mile. Wadley was only about 44. Lineville was like 6,000, give or take. It's a little over 6,000. Westover was 10. Not Westover. What was that? Yeah, what was that place called? I'm drawing a complete and total blank on what that place was called. It wasn't Westover. We'll have to get my timetable out. I got it still. There we go. This is the first timetable I was issued. It was Atlanta Division 99. What was that place called? Weathers. Weathers, okay. Okay. All right, back in the day, Campground was 6177. South LaGrange was 8640. Pine was 64. Standing Rock was like 44. Roanoke was 41. Blake was 58. Wadley was 41. Crackford was 74. Lineville 63. Weathers 10K. Carrara was 39. Chaco was 58. Coosa Pines was about 45. Westover 58. Oh, yeah, okay. I guess that's Watkins 98, Pelham 95. So yeah, they had some pretty short sidings back in the day. They lengthened several of them 10,000 feet. Either way, they put a ton of money in that route. A ton of money. I forgot what they had a certain name for that whole project that they did. It was like all the way from Chicago to Jacksonville. What I hired out, they just had finished a double track from Malk down to Rupert. They literally had just finished that. And I think while I was working, they did the double track down at Folkestone from Hague down into the junction. They did that too. Why are so many sidings on the fits in run 8 restricted entry and not bonded? Seems like every bonded siding there's a non-bonded one. Just save money. It was poor man's signaling, right? Those were OG. When they installed the signaling on those routes, they did the signals on the fits around 55, I guess 54, 55, somewhere there. I think they did the lineable side 57. I've got builders, manufacturers photos saved somewhere of that. Them installing those signals. Everything was non-bonded. Every single siding. That's just the way it was. The first signal siding on the fits, I want to say, was Ross. They did that back in the 70s, I think. And on the lineable side, I think it was Cragford. It was just cheaper. Don't have to worry about, you know, signaling that entire siding. You got to think too. Back in the day, a lot of those sidings were jointed. I don't know much about anything, but I'd imagine like bonding a whole siding full of jointed rail would be kind of a big deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that would be, I think they had to do like little jumpers or something. Like, there's something that they had to do. That's crazy. Up here, almost all sidings have been bonded since the 50s. Yeah, they were all OG. OG install was non-bonded. That was like a large majority of the like ACL did the install on that. I think that was like a large majority of their mains everywhere, minus the A line, was all non-bonded stuff. Yeah, jointed rail needs jumpers. Yeah, I would imagine that's kind of involved thing. That seems like that would be a lot. And like when I worked in the early 2000s, a lot of that stuff was the original installation. Some of it had changed, but that's why we still had a bunch of doll arms, and a lot of the OG stuff was still in service. All right, we're going to attack this guy on the bottom. We'll attack him on the bottom. We'll go through the rest of the railroad, do a yard check, and then probably head out for lunch. We'll check the rest of the route, see what else we need to do. All right, good with him. Let's tuck him out of the way somewhere. Let's pull him down there. All right, what else we got? Let's look at Dillsboro, see what's going on there. Do we have... All right, what cars do we have here? We got some stuff to work southbound. Barker's Creek, Pultwood, and Slay, Micah, and Sheest. Gotta go work that guy. We can't forget that. Dillsboro. What's going on in Dillsboro here? Engine service. Okay, that one's for that's for the fuel stand. Where does that guy got a spot exactly? Where he goes? Right there, really? Was behind the coal hopper. Okay. Owen goes to the freight house. Not much to do there. My question is, if we work the paper mill, that's the one I'm really kind of worried about. Just fly down here real fast. All right, passenger jobs pulling up. Yeah, he's been worked. Sweet. So we're good here too. Oh, we've got a misroute. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. No, we don't. He just hasn't gone yet. All right, that's a northbound pickup for the next train. This is a southbound pickup for Silva. Sweet. So we're good. We're just about good on the entire railroad. We just got to wait on stuff to finish loading up. All right, let's grab this guy real fast. And we'll set him off in the siding. Do some block swapping. So more than anything, they probably just didn't want to put in. Yeah, probably. I mean, that could be one of the reasons. I just know, like, non-bonded, that was a way to signal, like, control something with signals, but it was a poor man's CTC. So he basically, they only controlled the entry. You know, they couldn't tell you, like, what was in there. Didn't have a track light or anything. A lot of times what they did was, it depended on the operator and the CTC panel. Like, they'd have a little switch that they would flip and it would give them a track light. So let's say someone set some cars off in the siding, he'd make a note of it and he'd flip that switch and it would give it to get like a manual track light to let him know that, hey, that siding is fouled. Or sometimes I think they would hang like a little tag on it or something. There were some ways that they did that back in the day to know. Jesse, what's going on, dude? What is that spur between Campground and Duran? Almost looks like a Joker. That used to be a pulpwood yard. That was a pulpwood yard back when I think it was kind of off and on. That was a pulpwood yard though. A little bit before that, like in the 80s and 90s and 70s, like that was a huge pulpwood yard. Like they did a ton of stuff there. They would like have 8 cars in there. Jesse got a ton of snow. Did you get a ton of snow, Jesse? We didn't hardly get any. We got a little dusting. Yeah, I know it as a pulpwood yard. I don't know what's there now. Like, it's kind of weird what's there now. I don't know how legit that is. I haven't looked at it in GE, but that was a big pulpwood yard. Like, they used to have a ton of pulpwood cars up in there. Run 8 models that has a gravel pit. I kind of wonder if they just put that in there just to have something. We really need wood racks. We need pulpwood cars because there was like the Lineville sub was one of the last. I think it was one of the last, if not the last subdivision on the entire CSX system that loaded pulpwood. We had a place north of Campground that loaded pulpwood. We had a place Standing Rock loaded pulpwood. I want to say Abanda loaded pulpwood. And there's a couple places in Lineville that loaded pulpwood. Well, I think Lineville was like the very last places. Like, they was still really active when I worked. Because I remember meeting trains. Every time you met a train and you had pulpwood on the train, you'd have to tell them over the radio, we have pulpwood in our train. And then whoever was on that side, like the meat side, you'd have to get up and go on the other side of the cab in case something was hanging off or it had shifted. Like, you'd have to get up and move. You'd have to get up and go to the other side of the cab. Let's get a handbrake here, guys. Just got back in the clear. There we go. Yeah, Chessie, I think we're going to get a little bit more snow Thursday. I think they said like half an inch for us. It changes though. Every day it changes how much we're supposed to get. This stream's done good, guys. I'm really proud. Rock solid 8,000 kilobytes. I could get away with bumping it up a little bit. Honestly, I think they've been having trouble for a while with the internet, like, and we just didn't know it. All this talk of industries remind me I need to get some more rolling stock packs to run 8. Right now, there's only rolling stock DLC I have as center beams. Yeah, there's a ton. There's a ton. I honestly, I kind of wish at some point they would do some bundles at a reduced price for like new users to get into the game, because it's so much to get. Like, it's a huge investment right off the bat. This person says Weather Channel. We call Weather Channel fake weather because it's wrong all the time. Like, it's wrong all the time. It's never right. Weather Channel is never right. They're all. I do the National Weather Service out of Amarillo. They're by far the most accurate because that, like, this is their area. Let's look real fast here. We'll pull it up on my phone. Yeah, there's a ton of rolling stock packs for Run 8 though. Really good ones too. Like there's some nice ones. I don't even have all of them. I need to get some more. All right, let's see what National Weather Service says for us. Thursday, 40% chance of snow showers, mainly afternoon, mostly cloudy with a high near 37. Calm wind becoming north, maybe kind of a wet snow, with it being a high of 37. Thursday night, 30% chance of snow before midnight. Mostly cloudy with a low around 23. I should totally do the weather report. I should do radio weather reports, guys. That would be me. See if they predict. What do they predict for us? Tuesday to Wednesday morning. Yeah, no snow for us. Supposedly they're getting snow over towards Amarillo today. I didn't know that. I had no clue. Oh, come on. Why is my phone being a pain? All right, let's see. What are we supposed to get? Well, they got us under a winter weather advisory. .3 inches, Business Spur. 0.3 is if you're still on here, if you're not busy working, we're getting like Weather Channel says 1 to 3 inches. National Weather Service says 0.3 inches. So there's like a huge discrepancy between those two. Right? Less than half an inch, 3 inches. Yeah, I go with the National Weather Service out of Amarillo. Just got a new mod last night that adds another captive service to bring corn from Wilmot to an ethanol plant in Bryson. That's cool. Does it generate some pretty good money? As someone that uses a fit sub more than any other in Run 8, what rolling stock pack would you recommend to get next? Dude, that's kind of tough because I can't think off of the top of, like, I'd have to look at them. Can I get back with you on that? I need to look at the rolling stock packs and see, because I think the rock hoppers would be nice because, like, there's a ton of rock loaded up around Martin Marietta, up in Junction City, Brown Sand. 2 bay hoppers at Brown Sand for sand. What else? Gosh, I don't know. I really kind of, yeah, I kind of need to look at it first. More specific, what car? Yeah, I need to look at the pack. Like, I honestly can't even remember what all the different, like, when they start getting into the mixed packs. You got that one pack that has the corn sweetener cars. Like, that's really good for Fitzgerald. That's a tough one. There's a lot of different cars on that route, right? Rock hoppers, corn sweetener. I was trying to think if there's any plastic pellets done on their route. I'm sure there is somewhere. 2-bay hoppers for sand, the brown sand. What else? Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look at that and see. Up here in my bit of Colorado, we got 4 inches this entire winter so far. Yeah, Mrs. Spur is talking about our 3, like if we get 3 inches of snow. 3 inches of snow here is not a big deal. We could totally handle that. We could totally handle that. They don't even close the schools for that. We've taken the kids to school in tons of snow before. They let them out of school for football games, but then when it snows, they're like, oh, y'all got to come to snow. Yeah, I mean, y'all got to come to school. Just checked Weather Channel. They said we might get rain, only 40%. Yeah, it's changing a lot. Oh, yeah, wood chip hoppers. Yes, and NWF, you're absolutely right. There are a lot of wood chip hoppers loaded along the route. So, yeah, see, you thought of one that I wasn't even thinking about at the time. I wouldn't even think about that. All right, guys, it's almost lunchtime for me. I think we're going to end it here. We didn't get as far as I wanted to, but you can't get very far in this game unless you, like, sit here and play all day long and not do anything. Don't get up and go to the bathroom. Don't eat. Don't do nothing but sit here and play Railroader, and then you might get something done, like accomplished in this game, right? But the main thing is we got to hang out and shoot the breeze, so most important part. Hoosier says, see you, have a good lunch. All right, Hoosier, I appreciate you, man. Hope you have a good rest of your day too. We'll be around with another stream later this week. The internet is beautiful. Like, I couldn't ask for a better connection. Like, it's like night and day how different it is this go around. So I think I've been having trouble for a while, for at least a month or two. Thanks for answering all my questions. Absolutely, NWF. I don't mind one bit, dude. I'll answer what I can. I don't know much of anything, but I'll answer what I can. To see you for next stream. Casey, thanks for your entertainment. Have a good one. Yes, Casey, I appreciate you, man. You have a good day too. Aquaspire. Backside, what's up, dude? I haven't seen you in here, but I hope you have a good day. Thanks for watching, man. Maverick, I hope your physical, your job works out for you, dude. You get that short line. It sounds like that'd be a good one. All right, guys. Y'all take care. We'll catch you with a video tomorrow and a stream later on this week. Peace.